If you have 5,000 people under house arrest and 144 throughout the state, there can be no ban. So, let's not, my request to your lordships is, please don't enter into this arena, because we will have to counter it with all kinds of facts, which I don't think is necessary for this court. Relevant from our point of view. Because if your lordships had said earlier that subsequent facts will not be taken into account, we are dealing with the law, we are dealing with these facts.
Mr. Sibal, these facts on what they have said would have possibly no bearing on the constitutional issue which has been argued.
But even otherwise, because we have to counter those facts,
we had asked them a question on the roadmap for holding an election.
That's fine, Mullah.
That's what they have responded.
But
that's what, Mullah, in my argument.
But our decision on the constitutional issue has to be on constitutional.
But Mullah, these facts will go into the mind of the court, because they are trying to show as to how this enormous change has taken place for the benefit of the people of Jammu and Kashmir. If you have 5,000 people under house arrest and 144 throughout the state, there can be no ban. So, let's not, my request to your lordships is, please don't enter into this arena, because we will have to counter it with all kinds of facts, which I don't think is necessary for this court.
The nature of the development work which the government says has taken place post August 2019, this may not be of relevance to your constitutional challenge. And therefore, when they respond to the constitutional challenge, that has to be dealt with independent.
I didn't rely upon it while answering on merit.
Facts, if they come into your lordship's part of the record, then that has...
I think, Mr. Sibal, what the solicitor, to be fair to the solicitor, what the solicitor was saying is that the roadmap to full statehood would take a little time.
That's obvious.
Right now, that they are his submission is that right now development work is taking place. Some stability has to be brought about. This is not a permanent arrangement, namely the UT status. They envisage that it will be a movement from UT to statehood again. We can't give you a fixed point of time when we will restore statehood, but they have told us the process which they are following on the path to...
I have no objection to that statement. I have no objection.
And that's how we read it.
Yes, well, as if any other fact that you bring to your lordship's notice has no bearing, because I'll have to counter
it. Solicitor, Mr. Attorney, we take it that what you said, Solicitor, a short while back, is along the lines what we said.
Yes, that this answer the election and
the
statehood query, not as a
problems to that.
Mr. Sibal also fairly says that he has no difficulty about that.
But my arguments on merit,
this cannot be an answer to the constitutional challenge.
But even otherwise, it should not be to your lordship's mind, that these are great things that are happening, because today the kind of drugs that are happening with the youth in Jammu Kashmir is unbelievable. But I don't want to enter into that conversation.
Can I put it like this?
The unemployment rate is enormous.
Mr. Sibal, these are matters on which there can be and should be in a democracy policy differences, right. But that can't affect the constitutional answer to a constitutional challenge.
Once you start placing these facts and your lordship...
But therefore we place those facts which he mentioned in the perspective of the roadmap to statehood, that's all. And nothing on...
This is not a justification.
This is not a justification, it cannot be from our perspective also to the answer to the constitutional challenge. We'll have to address the constitutional challenge.
Your lordship will allow me to place some counter facts to that?
May I put it like this? I had intervened that stage only for this reason, that we wanted in a conspectus to understand when they look towards restoration of statehood.
No problem.
Which they made a statement.
That's no issue, Malaz. They say that will take some time. Your lordships will decide on that issue, Malaz.
That's confined to our answer, our question to Mr. Solicitor.
Bunds have been reduced to zero. Bunds have been reduced to zero. All that, with respect, I say your lordship should not even. Those facts are not relevant for the purposes of your lordship's decision, is all that I say.
And therefore, we had not taken that additional affidavit which was sought to be filed at the inception of the record. And I don't think there has been any change in that.
I think it's better understood like this. Neither are these statements